Hello, welcome back to In the Kitchen with the Dietitian. This is Jane's story. This is episode 2 in my series on whole grains. Hopefully you enjoyed episode 1 where we made corn muffins. Those were pretty good. You'll probably see them on my episodes of What This Dietitian Eats as a side dish. I have grits here in front of me. I have different methods that we're going to use to cook them. Usually when we think about cooking grits, it's on the stove and we're stirring, but I'm trying to avoid that because I want people to enjoy whole grains in a more convenient manner. The grits that I have here in front of me, this one is a blue grit and it came from a mill here in Texas outside of Austin. I have polenta, which is just a fancy name for grits. You will find this on the cereal aisle sometimes. Depends on the store you're at. It can be kind of difficult to find. I do want to mention that the grits that you see in the grocery aisle, typically, the Quaker Oats canister, and those are not whole grains. Those have been degerminated and enriched. This came from a mill in South Carolina. I have blue ones, I have yellow ones, and I have white ones. So it depends on what you're using it for, the color you will choose. I wanted also to mention that this polenta can also be in this form, which in the Midwest, you may have seen it as corn mush with the bacon and the sausages. This product here is found in the pasta aisle. We can make our own polenta like this in the tube. With these, we just need to cook them and let them sit and they'll firm up, and then we can slice them and grill them in a pan. That's exactly what you would do with this. I have used this in my What This Dietitian Eats. You may have seen the little round discs. This is where it came from. Still a whole grain because it's made from whole grain grits. So another way, more convenient way to enjoy it. All right, so we're gonna get started. As a dietitian, I am going to promote using milk to cook our grits because we need to get dairy in 3 cups a day. And this is one of the easiest ways we can do it. Plus we can add some protein to this carbohydrate dish. I'm going to be using Metopia when I cook the ones that I'm going to show you, but I wanted to give you some other options that you could use for liquid. The ratio of liquid to grits after experimentation, the package says 3/4 cup liquid to 1/4 cup of grits. That makes a very firm grit, and if you were going to be making polenta like I showed you in the tube, that would probably be a good ratio to use. However, if we're going to be eating this as a cereal, I'm going to suggest that we use 1 cup of liquid to 1/4 cup of grits, or 40 grams. And those are the measurements I will be using. The other options you have for liquid are a chicken broth, a vegetable broth, soy milk, beef broth, and then I also have oat milk on here. But as I said, I really prefer we use cow's milk because cow's milk does have protein. This oat milk does not have protein. Or we could use one of these low to no sodium added broths, and you could use that for the whole water ratio. I'm going to be cooking one of these in my easy bake oven, as I call it. It's my air fryer oven, and I'm going to be using Pyrex dishes. These aren't Pyrex, these are Anchor Hocking. I'm using this for my serving because this can go in the microwave, it can go in my oven, it can go in the freezer, it can go in the refrigerator. So it's very versatile. And it's good for keeping it in single servings. Another option, this one is a bigger one. This is a 2 cup, this is a 4 cup. And how you could use this is still doing the 1 serving of grits in here, but this allows for you to add things on top. We could add some lean protein, some dairy, some shredded cheese, and we wouldn't have to dirty up more than 1 bowl, so you could eat it out of 1 bowl. So just another option to keep it single serve. I think these came in a 2 or 3 pack. We will get started. I have already measured out my water and milk and grits. 40 grams, 1/4 cup. I have a 1/2 cup of milk and I have a 1/2 cup of water. Like I said, I'm using the ultra filtered milk to get some more protein out of it. I have my crock pot here. This is a little one. I'm gonna cook it on low for about an hour, 2 hours. Depends on how hot your crock pot's getting. I have the ones back here and my other one that have been going since They've been going for about almost 2 hours. They're not done yet. They're starting to get thicker, but they're not done yet. So I just stirred them. Again, you don't have to stir them while they're cooking. That is one benefit of cooking them this way versus on the stove, because you got to stay with it on the stove. I will spray my crock pot here. Another thing you can do when you're making your grits, depending on what you're going to do with them, you could add some low to no salt seasoning spices to this also. Like Mrs. Dash has that chipotle blend, or tahini, or cumin, whatever it is you want to do. All we need to do when we're making this is pour our milk and water in here. So there goes my milk. There goes my water. And then my grits. We're gonna stir, and we're done. We're gonna stick that back on my counter, and we'll let it go, like I said, for at least a couple hours. You could always cook it on high if you wanted to kind of speed that up a little bit. Next up, we have my vegetable steamer. This is a stackable, so there's actually one more level to this, but I'm just using it to steam my grits. You can use it to steam rice or other whole grains that you can find on the Whole Grain Council website. It has a little dish in there. And in the bottom, I can't lift it up to show you, but there is water in the bottom of this. And that water just is used to create the steam. I'm actually going to add my liquid for cooking my grits into this pan. So this goes back on here, and we're going to add our grits again. I'm putting the blue ones in this. I have my half cup of milk and my half cup of water. And again, we are just stirring to incorporate. You could add a little twist of salt if you wanted to, but again, we need to control sodium, but a little twist here will kind of help bring out some of the flavor. Another way you could also flavor this, if you wanted to make it a more sweeter dish, is we could add some cinnamon or ginger or nutmeg and a little bit of swerve brown sugar, maybe like a teaspoon, and then we could have it with blueberries, again, to kind of give it a different spin, making it a sweeter versus a more savory side dish. All right, so we're all done here. We're gonna put the lid back on, and we'll put that back. Last cooking method is going to be in my Easy Bake, and so I'm gonna just spray this dish down because this will stick. I didn't have to spray the steamer because there's gonna be so much water going through there, it's not gonna stick, but this is going to. We'll add the milk, water, and the grits. These are the white ones. And we will just stir that up. And we're not gonna put the lid on it because that'll melt. And then we'll just stick that in the oven. I will show you that. It will go for about a half hour. Same way with the steamer. I'm gonna show you how I'm gonna set that. I didn't set it yet because it makes noise, and I didn't want to do that while I was talking. So anyway, I'm gonna put this in the stove, and we'll come back over here to this side. So these are the grits that I've had going for a couple of hours. I have 2 servings in here, and it's on low. So you can see they're kind of thickening up a little bit, but they still got some room to go. Put that one back on. These are the ones that I just stuck in. Nothing's going on there. This one has a timer, and I'm gonna set it to about 60 minutes. I'm gonna check on it in 30. It should be done then. And then my oven, we are going to open it up. Got my shelf down already. Put this in here and set it for 370 and probably about 20, we'll go 25 minutes. This is about halfway through the cooking. I'm gonna pull it out, show you what it looks like. So this has a little bit more time to cook. It's not done yet, but I just wanted to show you that's about halfway through. This is about halfway through on my steamer. That steam is hot. Not done yet, but getting there. And here we have these grits that have been in for about a half hour. And then these have been in for probably almost 3 hours now. Oh yeah. It happens very quick. That last part of cooking, they can get away from me. You think they got a while and then all of a sudden they're done. These are done. So I just wanted to show you what that looks like. There's actually, like I said, 2 servings here. These just came out of the oven. You can see they got a little brown top on them, so you can eat them just like that. I'm gonna stir them up so you can see. See how creamy those are. We're done. Before I take these out of the crock pot, I just wanted to show you what it looked like. Those are done. We have finished cooking the grits. I have showed you the process during and after. I have all of the servings here, the white, the blue, the yellow, those just came out, and then my other yellow ones that were in the other crock pot. This is 2 servings of grits. The other ones are 1 serving of grits. If you are looking for other ways to incorporate grits into your meals and are having trouble, I also offer meal plans. Prices are on my website if you need help planning out your daily meals. Join me next time in the kitchen with the dietitian. We're gonna make tortillas.